says he might have caught the mythical Chupacabra creature terrorizing his chickens.
It had red eyes, big old fangs hanging down there, claws coming out through 3 inches long, you know, just sharp as they could be.
Always something out there that allegedly either cause harm or threaten to cause harm to people or their livestock.
Do you believe in the Chupacabra?
Absolutely.
These are some of the inexplicable trail camera footage that were caught deep within the woods. The darkness of the forest conceals much more than simply wild animals, as many might assume until the trail camera demonstrates differently. Similar to an ape, this enormous ape-like creature is an elusive legend rather than your average gorilla or chimpanzee. I spent my entire childhood walking through the woods looking for big footprints. Scott Violet is a devoted Bigfoot believer and hunter who has spent over 20 years searching for concrete evidence of Bigfoot's existence. He ventured into eastern Oregon's Bloom Mountains with camera equipment in tow in the hopes of capturing a Bigfoot. After tracking its activity for some time, the Bigfoot hunter was able to capture the mysterious giant twice on his camera as it appeared with its heavy strides and arm swings, defying primate norms. In addition to the video, he was able to capture the Bigfoot's imprinted footprints on the ground, giving him unquestionable evidence of his existence. My idea is that if you don't find Bigfoot, he finds you, and the woods will come to life, and you'll start hearing things you never heard before. Legendary beast. Houston was taken aback when reports of a Chupacabra sighting began to circulate, prompted by a man's fervent claim to have seen the fabled animal. Josh called himself a Chupacabra. Hunter claimed to have seen 4 in his lifetime and to have photographed 2 of them. However, the veracity of his claim was called into question by an unclear photo that was linked to a hastily taken photo of the creature as it was. Moving gave rise to rumors that it might be a misconception. Coyote, not the legendary creature.
They're a little blurry because we were still trying to move and that thing was running down the fence line and we wanted to get it before it went, and then all of a sudden, right off the lead line, it went off into the brush.
Adding to the skepticism, an able expert dismissed Chupacabras as purely mythical, claiming that those blood-sucking beasts are not real.
No, we don't have those here. They're mythical, really. I mean, there's a lot of people report that, but no, that's a coyote.
Communities struggled to reconcile the enigma of the Chupacabra between rational theories and mythology. Bushy physique. As they attempted to escape the vehicle, after losing their way through the forest and their car breaking down on the uneven road, the group's headlights glimpsed a hairy figure that appeared briefly from one side of the forest to the other, before vanishing from view. Many people speculated that the enormous figure might be a potential Sasquatch. Some people described it as a really eerie figure. Was it a Sasquatch ghost, or was it just a hoax? We'd like to hear your opinions. Unknown canine breed. When this man saw the strange wild animal chewing on wooden chips while driving around Radnor Lake in Nashville, he thought it might be a mythical creature called the infamous and contentious Chupacabra. However, when he returned to the same spot after a round, the animal had vanished. When the video went viral online, people expressed a variety of opinions, the majority of which dismissed the idea that it was a blood-sucking beast. A wintry wilderness. This enormous, Yeti-like creature appeared in front of a planted trail camera in the vast snowy forest, defying the owners of the camera's beliefs. In the zoomed-in video, the bipedal creature could be seen walking up the hill with a hairy, dark figure. Its appearance was convincing enough to lead them to believe that this was, in fact, the legendary snow beast known as the Yeti. When panic set in, this elusive being aroused interest among the public. Eerie sewer. It appears that things are much scarier in sewers than they appear. A remotely operated vehicle from the U.S. Department of Water and Utilities was filming the inside of a sewer pipe to assess its condition when a strange hand suddenly appeared when the drone approached what appeared to be a body. Some people thought the object was a rat, but you can see that rats don't look like that. What do you think it was? eerie church. What would you do if you came across an abandoned church? Chances are you wouldn't go inside, but curiosity got the better of this guy, who made the horrible mistake of choosing to explore. When he got inside, he probably experienced the most horrific moment of his life. There was a woman sitting alone on a bench in a white dress. She looked eerily pale, almost the same color as her dress. As soon as the camera panned toward her, she turned her face, and the cameraman fled for his life. Who was she, and what was she doing in there? These questions remained unanswered, as the man didn't dare to enter the church again. The Georgian Beast. A hunter in Blue Ridge, Georgia, came across a massive ape-like creature strolling through the forest while searching for a clean kill. He followed the creature from a safe distance so as not to catch its eye, but the video abruptly ended, and we were left wondering what happened next. The hunter had followed a trail of a possible catch when he heard a loud growl coming from the dense forest. Upon investigating, he saw the sight of an elusive giant, a big hairy beast stomping around the woods, aggressively pushing the trees and bushes aside. Canine Zombie. This video, which was taken in July 2023, appears to show a rapidly deteriorating wild dog wandering the streets. It shows an upper jaw and a sparse coat of hair. It was an extremely sad sight, and the animal is still unidentified. It could be a rabbit dog, a severely ill or distressed coyote, or a member of the wildlife. An animal expert believes that the dog was suffering from mange, a condition that causes hair loss. Following the beast. Based on the beast's actions, this may have been anything from a bear to a reoccurring werewolf. The video ends abruptly, and the source is unknown, so no one is aware of what happened next or how things ended up. However, the footage depicts a massive, hairy beast that materialized before it began to chase. Judging from the way it took some time to weigh the pros and cons before starting to chase displays its level of intelligence and its potential to deal damage. Strange strolling. Companion: a driver was walking along a short path through a forest when he was joined by an unusual companion. The driver explained that after his car broke down, he decided to walk the remaining distance to his destination. That's when he noticed that he had company, and that two of such a terrifying creature from the looks of it stood motionless among the trees as it didn't even try to hide itself. At first, the driver decided to give it the benefit of the doubt, but then he felt that it was following him. Head doll. We've all seen dolls, and occasionally their subtle movements have been captured on camera and labeled as glitches in the matrix. But what this guy found and recorded was far more than just a glitch. The man was looking for an abandoned doll in the forest, gathering wood, when he came across something very strange. The doll appeared to be a girl, with eerie lines covering its face. It was either vandalized, or it just looked that way. It moved on its own, tilting its head side to side. Why someone had thrown the doll into the woods, and how it was able to move, are mystery. Too large, black figure.
And I'm so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across a Bigfoot. I'm just not sure. Here, let's see if you guys can tell. I'm so startled right now. I'm so startled. Yeah, it looks like there's two Bigfoots. I don't know. It looks like he's got a dead deer in his arm or something. I'm not sure. Oh my God, I think he sees me. I have to go.
When Christina Roberts was hunting for turkeys, she came across two animals that she recognized as Sasquatches. What really frightened her was that she assumed they were carrying a dead deer, possibly one that they had hunted and were going to eat. Looking at the original footage, you can see that she was visibly shaking and that she seemed to be speaking quietly so as not to be noticed. However, when the footage is enhanced, opinions differ, though there's another camp now, and this group says that there's no possible way these are humans. As much as I'd like to, I would have to agree with them just being hunters to me the more I watch it. It just looks like two guys walking through the woods. Some viewers insist they're just people. Others have said Christina is definitely just pretending, and they can tell from the video. It's difficult to draw a firm conclusion from these videos because you never know what the person filming is up to. It could have been a joke that made its way online. However, it would have been funny because it seems like these guys are unaware that she's there. If she had given them a warning shot, they would have been terrified to death. Resembles a wolf. The user-generated video's Wild shared a fan-submitted image that caused quite a stir online, primarily because at first glance it appears to be a large wolf captured on a trail camera. However, a closer inspection reveals something incredibly strange. The creature has long fingers that resemble human hands. People are going crazy over this combination of human and wolf traits. They're making all kinds of wild guesses. Could this be some sort of wolf-person hybrid? Is this a dog man? I don't need to tell you that its face is strange and doesn't really match a typical wolf's either. Some people have even noticed that its teeth seem more human than animal. Some others are saying that the picture is so messed up that they hope we're being duped. Although I'm leaning toward the entire latter, I'll let you folks make that decision. Picture boom. My name is Patricia, and I reside in Upper Washington State. I was practicing a technique where I use my camera to snap pictures and then edit the exposure to highlight particular places that are typically concealed by shadows. I was practicing in the deep woodlands behind my house. In one of these sessions, I took a picture of what at first glance looked like a typical front-of-house scene, but when I played around with the lighting in a particularly dark area, I discovered something genuinely strange. Two distinct figures that appear to be in motion. These silhouettes had a ghostly quality, almost like phantoms caught in mid-stride. And the scariest part is that I was not able to see them when I took the picture. The figures appear human, but they're covered in a blur that suggests faster movement than you'd expect from a single camera shake. The forest was calm and peaceful, and I was alone, which makes the presence of these figures all the more unsettling. I highlight that part because there was no way anyone else in the scene at the time. Since there were no other people in the area that day, and the forest was clearly silent, I'm not sure what these apparitions could be. It's as if the camera lens penetrated through a veil to another dimension, capturing inhabitants who were unaware of my presence. This photo has left me with more questions than answers, and a newfound respect for the secrets the forest holds. I would be honored if you considered featuring my photo. Maybe your readers could help solve this mystery. Kind regards, Patricia. That is, indeed, rather unsettling. I'm not sure how to interpret these pictures. They appear to be two men dressed in robes, and while they are both bald, the man on the left sort of looks like a skeleton. I'm curious to learn more about what was on this property. It appears that there is wood in the background, but I'm not sure if that is from an old house or just regular piles of wood. It also appears that there are some boards inside. Please let me know what you think. This is really intriguing. Get ready for what we're going to show you. White thing. Bizarre image. This is a peaceful, nearly silent road in the dead of night. The only sound you can hear is the soft hum of the car's engine. There are two people inside, and one of them is filming what appears to be a normal nighttime drive. The surroundings are completely dark, with only a single street light flickering in the distance. The person operating the camera is keeping it steady, though I'm not really sure what or why they're filming. But then, out of nowhere, a quick white figure appears, crosses the road, and vanishes in a heartbeat, not even a few seconds, disappearing into the dark night. This could be a ghost, although some have speculated that it might have been the Daesh. The video really gets you thinking, doesn't it? It reminds us that the cover of night might just be hiding mysteries that we can't even begin to fathom. So the next time you're out on a desolate, dark road, keep an eye out and pull out your phone, because you never know what secrets the night might hold. Claw impressions. Bigfoot hunters Lee Brickley reported in 2020, when finding tracks and claw marks in British forests that he believes are evidence of an ape-like creature. I think we can all agree that Bigfoot is usually associated with isolated mountainous regions of America, but surprisingly, there have also been several under-the-radar sightings in the United Kingdom. If you've been watching this channel for even a short while, you know that we've talked about the 26-square-mile forest known as Cannock Chase. It's known for centuries of paranormal occurrences, from child ghosts to UFOs and werewolves, and even reports of Yeti-like figures dating back to the 1800s. Lee photographed footprints that he claims were frightening 41 centimeters in length, almost twice the size of a large human foot, and too big for any local wildlife. A month later, while hunting, he noticed large claw marks on a tree close to a mall deer, which had bite marks and its throat ripped out. Sightings and reports in this area have increased since early 2019, leading many people to believe that a mysterious creature lurks somewhere in Cannock Chase. I'm not sure, guys. Maybe some of our listeners who live nearby could have a look at these woods for us. Large foot sighting. In 2020, a hiker in California, San Gabriel Wilderness, took out his camera to capture the scenery when he noticed something unusual in the trees. And zoomed in, he recorded a large figure standing at what he estimates to be 10 to 15 feet tall. He said it was standing completely still, almost as if to not be noticed. The hiker has lived in this area his entire life, and he has never known of a Bigfoot sighting. We're about 10-20 feet behind me, and as I turn around, I'm looking straight, and I see the creature on that tree. So what I do, I continue walking closer to try to tell myself, am I seeing a shadow? At that point, I see his head turn. So I know that I'm not looking at a shadow. And this is where I stop. And this is where everything pretty much happened. This is where my daughter videotaped from your angle. And when he looked it up online, this area is not typical of where you would see Bigfoot sightings, however. A couple of years earlier, unbeknownst to this guy, a woman in the San Bernardino Mountains, not too far from S. Gabriel, reported seeing a Sasquatch up in a tree. Fortunately for us, her daughter recorded the moment on camera when it attracted her attention, and she couldn't stop staring at it. She stated how she moved closer to make sure it wasn't simply a shadow, but when she saw its head shift, she was positive it wasn't. These strange experiences beg the question, could they have captured the same creature? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't rule out this Californian mountain region just yet. Chernobyl. Within an hour, a TikTok user's highlight of a terrifying Google Maps image set off a frenzy on the internet, garnering over 220,000 views and sparking a global conversation. Places like the city of Pratt within the Chernobyl exclusion zone had drawn the eerie fascination of tourists, with visitor numbers reaching approximately 100,000 annually. The image that has gone viral shows the eerie remnants of Pipat's amusement park, with the focus on the dilapidated Ferris wheel. The Chernobyl disaster occurred in April of 1986 and was a catastrophic nuclear accident that resulted in the evacuation and long-term displacement of tens of thousands of people. The video shows a shadowy shape of a person hiding behind a tree in what appears to be a purple jacket. And you know how fast people get on the internet. It's difficult to tell. It didn't go past those individuals, so things rapidly turned sticky. Many viewers claimed that this was a survivor of the incident in which they discussed radiation from food and various mutations. One individual added a humorous comment, asking how a Google automobile could have arrived at such a guarded area, and if this eerie presence was indeed an abandoned mannequin or a daring urban explorer. Though I'd want to think it's more enigmatic, it still leaves you guessing. Really, what is it? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. I'm not familiar with Photoshop, so I'm not sure whether you could even do this or inform me. Unusual action. A TikTok video posted by user Brianna Antoinette has caused some amusement as well as a great deal of unease in an unusual twist on a quaint farm setting. The clip begins innocently enough as we can see Bana among her chickens, but the mood takes an odd turn when she steps back and calls out to the chickens, but they remain eerily still as if time has stopped for them. It's as though time has stopped for them, and everyone is left wondering, what the fool? Why are they not moving? What do you think about this strange incident that occurred this week? Some TikTok viewers speculated that the chicken's unusual stillness might be a natural defense against a predator like a hawk that might be hiding nearby, essentially believing that if they don't move, they won't be seen. Others joked that it might be evidence that our world is merely a simulation and the chickens are experiencing a glitch. Sent an email. This footage is quite unsettling. This is the strange case of Jack Foy, a 32-year-old from Dunmore, Pennsylvania. It's a little different from what we usually feature, but I believe it just took me off guard, so I didn't really know what to think, and I had a similar experience, which I'll tell you guys at the end. People all over the world are confused because of it. First, as his loved ones were starting to adjust to his unexpected death, something incredible happened in November 2011 that caused them to reevaluate their beliefs about life and death. Tim Hart Froy's closest friend was the first to experience this. He was at home when he received an email from Jack Froy, who had passed away a few months earlier. The subject line said, "I'm watching," and the message said, "Did you hear me? I'm at your house. You need to clean your attic." Hart was alone himself when he became alarmed. Thinking that someone might be pulling a practical joke on him, he examined his residence. The comment about the messy attic turned out to be a private joke between him and Froy. Nobody else should have known about it at the time. Jimmy McGraw, after Froy passed away, his cousin also received an email concerning an ankle injury that he had recovered from. It said, "Hey Jim, how are you doing? I knew you were going to break your ankle. Try to warn you, got to be careful, tell Rock from me, great song, huh, you're welcome." However, the email could not reach him. McGraw was just as freaked out when these two emails stopped coming in, and no one could explain why. Some have speculated that maybe someone hacked into Frosty's email account to play around and conjure up some amusing memories, and they somehow knew of the personal details mentioned in the emails. Others have said that Frosty made it all up, but those with knowledge of the situation say that's not really the case, and that explanation didn't quite fit with how specific the messages were. Frosty may have set the emails to be sent after he passed away, but his sudden death and the mention of McGraw's injury 1632 occurring later make it seem implausible. The most bizarre theory is that Frosty was communicating with people in the afterlife. What transpired with these emails is still unknown. It might just be a crafty ploy, but it would be incredible if Fry was genuinely attempting to communicate with us from beyond the dead.